right. Good Monday evening, South Carolina Weather Watch. I'm your meteorologist, Joseph Peterson. Let's go and talk about the weather for your Monday evening going into your future. We have some stuff that we're going to talk about tonight, obviously. We will talk about our current condition, what's going on currently, the weather for tonight, obviously. We also will continue to talk about the tropics, and then we also will continue to talk about our patterns, rather that be with cold fronts, with widespread rainfall, low flood risk going on, and we'll continue to talk about the temperatures as well. If you have not hit the like button or the subscribe button yet, go ahead and do so. We right now have 4 people watching and 4 likes. So right now, it looks like for the most part, everybody has actually hit the like button so far. So that's a good thing that we have going on right now. Now, will that stand is a good question. Will that stay? That's a good question. So we'll go on and continue to watch for that as we get later into the stream. And so also make sure you go and hit the subscribe button. $5.99. One more subscriber until we get to that main goal of 600. Share with all the people that you know. That, and then share it as well. Share it with family members, friends, acquaintances, your worst enemy, anybody you can share it to. And so let's go on now and talk about what's going on currently. So right now, as you go on and look at what's going on throughout the entire state of South Carolina, rainfall going on over here inside of Bennettsville, also going on over here in Florence, Sumter, over here into Georgetown. We do have some rainfall going on over here. We also do have some rainfall going on over here inside of the upstate. Now, it's more on the isolated and more scattered side, but it's not really too much on the widespread side. If we scroll our way out, see what's going on throughout the entire U.S., we do in fact have some rainfall ongoing that will go on also inside of North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, Nebraska, some snowfall potentially going on in Colorado and Montana, even Idaho as well. Rainfall also going on over there inside of Florida, Kentucky, Maine as well. And for the most part, that's pretty much all of the regions that are getting rainfall right now. Now for our cloud cover for sure is going on, especially inside of the eastern part of the state. Western part of the state also receiving their cloud cover as well, but it's more lower to the ground than the eastern side. And if we go even into our future as well, that cloud cover will continue to stay cloudy just as we go through the next 18 hours or so. And if we go into our current temperatures right now, 55 in Columbia as well as 57 in Orangeburg, 56 in Sumter as well as Florence, 55 in Hartsville, and 55 in Lugoff, 55 in Bennettsville as well as 58 in Conway, 61 in Myrtle Beach as well as 63 in Murrells Inlet, 63 in Georgetown as well as 61 in North Myrtle Beach, 60 in Somerville, and even around 65 in Charleston, 50 in Greenwood, as well as 49 in Lawrence, 49 in Greenville, even in Spartanburg, 49 in Gaffney, 50 York, Rock Hill, 52 in Lancaster and Clemson, as well as 50 in Anderson. Low temperatures for tonight around 49 in Anderson, 47 in Greenville, and even around 47 in Spartanburg and Rock Hill, 51 in Columbia, and 50 in Camden, 52 in Florence, and 52 in Sumter, in Orangeburg, and Barnwell, and Walterboro. 54 at Moncks Corner in Georgetown, as well as 57 in Charleston, 56 in Myrtle Beach, and 58 in Hilton Head Island. Rainfall for tonight, a lot of rainfall definitely is still going to occur tonight. You have around 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch possible in Barnwell. 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch goes from Orangeburg to Walterboro to Hilton Head Island and even to Moncks Corner. 1/2 an inch to an inch possible for a lot of areas, but Greenville, Anderson, Greenwood, going into Camden, Sumter, Myrtle Beach, Charleston, all these areas. 1 to 1.5 inches possible for Georgetown, going into Cheraw, going into Spartanburg, as well as Columbia, and then maybe even 1.5 inches to 2 inches possible up there for Rock Hill and some other areas up there that might not be highlighted, but these are just the ranges, and even over there near the coastal Georgetown area, 1.5 inches to 2 inches of rainfall is possible. The crazy score for tonight, we're at a 28. We are inside of the mild category. Obviously, that is because we still have scattered shower activity going on. No flood risk, but it will be chilly, cloudy, and it's still going to be a bit breezy as well. Still going to be a bit breezy right now. And now it's not going to, probably won't be as breezy as it was potentially like during the day, but definitely will still be a bit windy out there. SPC outlook for tonight. They have not released the new one, unless they just did just now. It seems like they did. They released it at 9 o'clock on the dot. Actually, so of course, I couldn't get to it right then because that's when I just started. But for the most part, no thunderstorms are expected tonight. No thunderstorms are expected tonight, so we are looking good for tonight. Tomorrow, same thing, no thunderstorms are expected. Wednesday, same thing, no thunderstorms are expected. So we really are starting to get into not really the end of our rainfall, but definitely in terms of thunderstorm activity, looking to be pretty much close to being done. Excessive rainfall. This right here is for day 3, Wednesday. Wednesday, isolated flash flooding is possible up here inside the upstate, Greenville, Spartanburg, Travelers Rest, Pickens, Landrum, Gaffney, York, Rock Hill, Lawrence, Anderson. These areas, isolated flash flooding is possible. That's for Wednesday. But Thursday, Friday, past that, looks good. Now for our models. We're using a bit of a different app here just because for some reason the other ones, I don't know if it's down right now, what's going on, but don't worry. We have a new system. It's only going to be here temporarily until the other one starts to work again, but this is what it looks like right now. There is no time on the top right corner of your screen, so I'm just going to call it out. This is going into like the next couple of hours or so. You can see as that rainfall still continues throughout the nighttime hours now, as we just are seeing scattered to maybe even some regionally convection going on throughout like the upstate, going throughout the PD, going even throughout other areas as well. If you continue this even more, like even further into the future, you're going to push this forward right here. And that cloud and that rainfall activity, that convection activity will go on even to the morning. This is 7 o'clock in the morning right here. When I'm probably close to around where my new forecast update will come out. And it's still raining, but definitely still not as much. And then we get here to around 2 p.m. and things really start to calm down a lot more. Now, even further into the future, isolated shower, scattered shower activity still continues on throughout the region as we go into tomorrow night even as well. But not much at all. And then this is going into like not tomorrow night, but around Wednesday afternoon here. This is around Wednesday afternoon here where we still are seeing some rainfall. And this is actually a cold front right here. You're starting to see this cold front start to develop here from the west, pushes its way east, and that's where we will be receiving our more cooler temperatures still. And this doesn't really have the threat to really bring us any sort of severe weather or anything like that, but it does definitely have that chance to bring us obviously breezy conditions. And then in terms of exact temperatures, obviously we can't talk about exact, but for the most part, before the cold front gets there, I mean, you're going to have temperatures in the 40s in the upstate, 50s in the Midlands, going to the 60s near the coastal areas, and that's before the cold front gets there at like 2 p.m. on Wednesday. So possibly we'll get cooler than that. Kind of see the line right there. Here it is right here. You can kind of see where that line is right here. Compared to the dry air, the cold front, and then the more moist air. Now, what about our long-term future? So here the cold front passes, it does its thing. And as it passes us, high pressure forms. We are nice and dry all the way through. I mean, just look at this nice weather that we have here until we get to around Saturday, November the 8th. Here, it seems like we might get some more rainfall, some potential cold front there. But for the most part, a nice, dry, active period. So here goes the cold front that we were just looking at. That's for us right there. But look at this nice patch between October the 30th, Thursday, going all the way into honestly, November the 8th. That is the end of next week. So a good 7-8 day stretch right there potentially of no rainfall. It's possible. It is possible. Now that is out of the way in terms of our long-term future, I do want to go on and talk about our temperatures. Now, in terms of these cold fronts moving in, if you go in and look at the anomalies, you go to 500 or so to see what it says here. For the most part, still cooler than average. I mean, this is the cold front right here, which I might want to show. This, yeah, that's the height anomaly. I'm going to have to show this one instead. But for the most part, look at all this cooler air that's going to push in after the cold front pushes in. A lot of cooler air moves through, and it's going to stay cool. Now, as we get more into like the 5th, 6th day of November, it's going to start to warm up. Is it going to last long, though? Yeah, I mean, it'll last a little bit, all the way into like the 12th, potentially. Now, does that mean we're going to have temperatures back in the 80s or anything like that? Well, obviously, 7 degrees, and it's on Celsius as well, not on Fahrenheit, but 7 degrees Celsius more above average. And I don't think you can look at exact temperatures on this one, too. But yeah, no, you can't see exact temperatures on here either. But for the most part, it is above average. Now, let's go on and talk about the tropics. Because now that that is out of the way, I do want to talk about the tropics. Because major category 5, Melissa is still out here as a historic storm that will take place in Jamaica. I believe they said that this was one of the first, if not the first, category 5 to hit, to make like direct landfall in Jamaica. I'm pretty sure this is the first category 5 to hit Jamaica. So either that's what the discussion says: remain in yourself in your safe shelter and do not venture outside. Catastrophic, life-threatening flash flooding and numerous landslides are expected through Tuesday. The IWO's destructive winds may cause total structural failure, particularly in higher elevations, leading to widespread infrastructural damage, prolonged power and communication outages, and isolation of communities. And I've been saying that. For a long time now. I've been saying that for the same thing for like the past couple of days now, because it's important to repeat. It's important to talk about that. That's just how dangerous this storm right here will be. That, and then also over there for Haiti and the Dominican Republic, catastrophic and life-threatening flash flooding and landslides are expected across southwestern Haiti and southern portions of the Dominican Republic through midweek. In Haiti, extensive infrastructural damage, isolation of communities is likely, and tropical storm conditions are expected late Tuesday and Wednesday. For eastern Cuba, heavy rainfall with life-threatening and potentially catastrophic flash flooding and landslides are expected to begin tonight. And life-threatening storm surge and damaging winds are expected late Tuesday and Tuesday night. Preparations should be rushed. And then for southeastern and central Bahamas to the Turks and Caicos Islands, hurricane conditions, life-threatening storm surge, and heavy rainfall are expected across portions of the southeast and central Bahamas on Wednesday. Residents should follow advice given by local officials and make sure that they have their preparations complete by Tuesday night. Tropical storm conditions, heavy rainfall, and significant storm surge is expected on Wednesday. So, a lot of stuff going on here. This is what the cone looks like. Maybe. Here it is. Yeah, here's what the cone looks like. So, already, we knew that there's going to be hurricane warnings over there for Jamaica. We knew that there was going to be hurricane warnings already here for the Bahamas and for eastern Cuba. Even the Turks and Caicos Islands are inside of a hurricane watch. And tropical storm warnings are in effect, obviously, for pretty much a lot of Haiti and other parts of Cuba as well, but nothing for us over here inside of the U.S. Now, in terms of rip currents for us will be a bit of a concern, not only for tonight, but also for tomorrow as well, if they want to load. I don't know what's going on tonight with this website and just what's going on just in general. I don't know if it's just because there's a lot of stuff going on, but everything's just loading very slowly today. But here's what it is for tonight. High risk of rip current for tonight. And then tomorrow, same thing pretty much. High risk of rip current. So if you're going to the beach tomorrow, definitely do have to watch for that. And make sure that you swim near lifeguards. And so now that is out of the way as well, same thing with the rip currents and the heavy rainfall potential, they still, they honestly got rid of that risk of rainfall, I guess, maybe because the majority of the rainfall has fallen in some areas already. But if you remember, it said 40 inches of rainfall possible. Now that, a lot of that rainfall now has fallen already, another 20 to 30 inches of rainfall is still possible over there inside of Jamaica and then inside of Cuba as well. And so that is all that I really have to say in terms for Melissa. I do want to go in and look at our future for the tropics, since I know I would want to talk about just the models for it. But for the most part, this has no threat over towards us in South Carolina. But we can look at the European, though, and see what that one has to say. So here's what it looks like right now. You continue to push this forward. Melissa's going to take its way out. It might go towards Bermuda as well, so Bermuda might have to also be definitely has to be watching out for the storm as well. But, I mean, I see like some low pressures down there in the main development region, and then I still see some in the Caribbean as well, as I've been talking about for a little bit, but still nothing that's catching my eye that I'm really looking at that's saying we need to be watching for this storm system next. This is really just looking at Melissa, and then as that goes away, we're just going to be waiting to see what happens after, and if anything happens at all. This is November the 6th right here. And so this is still technically hurricane season until December the 1st, obviously. But for right now, I'm not going to say a word that could potentially jinx it, but I'm going to say it looks not active. Looks not active. And so that's pretty much all I have to say for the tropics, too. So let's go on and talk with the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9 p.m., like I said, becoming a subscriber. And just overall, just being active inside the chat as well. So here towards the audience, Mr. Chris was here first, but my poll's in the way. I can go on and just read it like this, so that's not a big deal. He says, good evening, everyone. Hope you all had a great day. I did. Thank you so much for asking. Hopefully you did as well. Please remember to go and hit the like button. Also hit the subscribe button if you have not already. Also share with everyone you know. He's absolutely correct. We have 13 people tuned in, and we only have 8 likes. If you are a part of that 5 that have not hit the like button yet, go on and do so. It's free. You can change your mind at any time. And also, $5.99, just 1 subscriber away from that main goal. It says, been raining all day here in Moncks Corner, and it is still going. It's still going at my house as well. Let's see, how much rainfall did I receive today? In terms of how much rainfall I received today, it seems like 0.68. 0.68, and it actually rained a bit last night as well. But 0.68 inches of rainfall. Yesterday, I don't think it was enough to accumulate yesterday, but I think it was some rainfall, unless it was like at like 12 o'clock in the morning or something like that happened, and so that goes into today. My Aunt Lula comes in and says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. My Nana says, hello, Jay. Nice rainy day. It was a bit chillier. Honestly, a bit chillier than I thought. I guess that, I was fine, but I probably could have brought a longer sleeve shirt today while I was out. Let's see, my Aunt Lula comes back and says, in Georgetown today, it rained all day, some wind also, absolutely, breezy conditions today was also expected. Ms. Tolliver says, good evening, I did get some rainfall at my house today and some wind too, very dreary indeed. Hopefully Mr. Sunshine will return later this week. It will return later this week. We will be praying for, we are praying for Jamaica, and my heart goes out to them, absolutely. And in terms of the winds, I forgot to say what the winds were like right now. It's a Category 5 storm, obviously. Right now, winds of up to 175 miles per hour with gusts of up to 200. Gusts of up to 200 miles per hour. And so we all know that doesn't mean the entire storm. That just means the strongest part of the storm, obviously. Not the whole storm isn't producing 200 mile per hour wind gusts. If it was, that would be a major problem. But as it makes landfall, it's expected to be around 145 miles per hour with gusts of up to 175. So somebody will be receiving that, whoever is nearest to the eye wall. So just wherever it makes landfall at. Let's see, what else do we have? My Aunt Lula comes back and says today was dreary and cool all day. Thank you so much for that weather update. Trail says greetings everyone, greetings to you. Rain all day here, and it was dark. It was getting kind of dark. I mean, it wasn't too dark, especially for when the sun was setting. That's why you can kind of see like the orange in the sky a little bit. Mr. Anthony says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you as well. Thad says, good evening, my dear cousin Joseph. I trust all is well. I can't stop talking about all of this beautiful weather. Please pray for my friends in Jamaica. My heart hurts. Please pray for the Caribbean as a whole. Absolutely. I mean, not just for Jamaica, but also for Turks, Caicos Islands, Cuba, Haiti, Dominican Republic, and then Cuba. So all of these areas. And so, glad that you're getting some beautiful weather over there. You're going to continue that. We're going to talk about that as we go into San Antonio's forecast. And then my Aunt Lou says, I will continue to lift up the people in Jamaica up in prayer. And thank you so much for that. And that is all that I see inside of the chat for tonight. So, if you want to go in and leave something inside the chat, you can. Make sure that you go in and vote inside the poll right now. So far, 10 people have voted so far. So, good amount. Let's go on and continue that. And so let's talk about the 4 locations outside of South Carolina. You might be asking, what am I talking about? 4 locations outside of South Carolina. I'm talking about San Antonio, Texas, Raleigh, North Carolina, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and Duncan, Oklahoma. This usually only takes around like 2 or 3 minutes or so. The reason why we talk about these locations is because we have people from these areas who tune in almost nightly, sometimes even nightly. And so we go on and talk about their forecast because even though the location is not being talked about, they still tuned in. They still tune in either way. So we start off with San Antonio first with low temperatures tonight at 70, high temperatures tomorrow at 91, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 54. No precipitation is expected for you at this time, but breezy conditions are indeed possible. Pretty much almost expected at this point. But for the most part, expected as you go into tomorrow night. And then in terms of excessive rainfall, no excessive rainfall is expected for you at this time. Again, no excessive rainfall is expected for you. Now, what about Raleigh, North Carolina? You have low temperatures tonight at 49, high temperatures tomorrow at 53, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 48. Showers are expected tonight. Rain is expected tomorrow, and rain will be likely tomorrow night. So it's going to be an active period for you as you go through the next 24, 36 hours or so. For Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, you have low temperatures tonight at 41, high temperatures tomorrow at 57, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 45. No precipitation is expected until tomorrow night, as there is a chance of shower activity. In terms of severe weather, nothing for you, but excessive rainfall. There is indeed an isolated risk for some flash flooding, so isolated flash flooding is possible for you on Thursday going into Friday morning. And then for the final location being Duncan, Oklahoma, low temperature tonight at 57, high temperature tomorrow at 64, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 43. Chance of showers tonight, chance of showers tomorrow. No precipitation is expected tomorrow night, but tonight patchy fog will also be expected, and it will be a windy day tomorrow. So a lot going on for you in terms of just stuff. You have fog, chance of rainfall, going to be windy, going to be cool. So you're going to have a lot of stuff going on. But severe weather and excessive rainfall, nothing for you. And so that is all that I have there. What's going on throughout the entire U.S.? A significant warming trend will last through late in the week over coastal Southern California. As they have heat advisories out, it's going to be up to around 90 degrees for them. Some of them even have red flag warnings out. That being for winds gusting as high as 45 miles per hour, and humidity is going to be down to 5 to 10%. That is some dangerous fire weather conditions over there. So it's going to be warming up for sure for them. Santa Ana winds combined with very warm and dry conditions will likely bring critical fire weather conditions to parts of southwestern California Tuesday and Wednesday. We will indeed continue to see some freezing conditions going on in eastern Utah, going to Colorado. And then, as crazy as it is to say, not only will there be some freezing conditions going on in Colorado, but there also will be some red flag warnings as well for some fire conditions going on in southern Colorado as well. That we will have some freezing that will potentially be ongoing from like the Panhandle of Texas into western Texas into New Mexico, Kansas, and Oklahoma, and then possibly up there some freezing going on in New York. Not quite down to New York City, but there will be some frost going on as well. And then Hurricane Melissa is obviously the other thing. Fire weather watch will also be going on in Texas as well, from southern Texas all the way up into central Texas. So a lot of stuff going on. Pretty much I just said. A lot of stuff. A lot of stuff is going on. One thing that I will say is I've been seeing the subscriber number jump, which, by the way, if you have not hit the subscribe button yet, go in and do so. And so I don't know if it's just from, people unsubscribing just because they don't want to follow the channel anymore, which is fine, obviously, or if it's just from people accidentally hitting the subscribe button twice. If you hit the subscribe button once, you don't have to hit it again. At this point, I think that I've gained at least a good 10 subscribers over the past week or so. But the thing is, I keep on losing subscribers at the same time. And so when somebody subscribes, somebody unsubscribes. And then when somebody else subscribes, somebody else unsubscribes. And it just goes back and forth. And so that's why I'm staying at this number right now. So please make sure that if you are unsubscribing by accident, you make sure that you're not doing that. And make sure that you only have to hit the subscribe button once. The only button that you have to hit multiple times is the like button and the share button. Better than that, the subscribe button, that's just a one-time thing. And so that's why I've been jumping around 597, 598, going up to 599. When I started, we were at 599. Now I'm back down to 598. So make sure that you're not doing that. And then the top fans for tonight. Let me see top fans for tonight. I actually have to go back up here and check real quick, because Mr. Chris was at number 1. My Aunt Lula is at number 2. And then Thad is at number 3. Congratulations to the 3 of y'all for being the top fans for tonight. If you want to be a part of the top fans, you can. You just got to go on and hit the subscribe button. Obviously, you have to have a channel, a YouTube account for it, and then you have to be active inside the chat. That, and then for the poll, I said, did you get rainfall today? 90% says yes. Well, 10% says no. Some of those could potentially be from out of state as well. But honestly, I would be a bit shocked if there was somebody in South Carolina today that did not get any rainfall, though. It seemed like the majority of us definitely did get some rainfall. That's all that I have to say, though. Make sure that you tune in tomorrow morning for our Tuesday morning forecast update. On Thursday, we will have the drought monitor conditions as always. And then on Saturday is going to be a huge night. We will have the winter forecast for the winter 25-26, not 24-25, but for 25-26. And then we also will be talking about the month of November as well. So we're going to be talking about that on that night. So make sure that you're there for that. And also make sure that you're getting your drought monitor predictions ready. Everyone have a fantastic rest of your Monday, and I will be back tomorrow. Hit those 2 buttons before you leave.